has the moon been placed artificially in our solar system? Knowledge, it is everything. Only there are those who do nothing to find it. There are those who accept life for what it is, living the life that has been created for you and your future generations to come, enslaving you, enslaving your children, enslaving your future grandchildren. Well, this was their plan. Now I am here. And if I am here, this is now time to repent. This is now time to start praying. In this world, there is free will. I will ask, have you used your free will in a way that will benefit this world or the people? Or are you one who is living their life lost and entertained by the New Age prophets whose job it is to entertain you with movies, sports, games, TV shows? My people of this world, you must wake up and realize the way of this world is not of the way God intended it to be. There is a better way of life where this world could be civilized and pure, full of love. But first, you must seek true knowledge. For me, it started as a child, seeing and communicating with spirits, angels, and even archangels. Throughout my life, I didn't understand, so I always pushed and pushed to higher levels, trying to make sense of everything. I am 38, and I now have seen who it is that I am. I have seen true knowledge, and that is believing in God. That is living the way God intended for the people. With this being said, I have taken the steps as other prophets who have came before. I have stood in front of God. I have stood in front of Satan. I can tell you the true name of death, for I am here, and it is now time for balance in this world. And the first step is knowledge, purity, and love. On this video, I will do a session. I will ask the saints and the archangels who surround me about the moon.
was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade.
There are stories here on Earth, ancient stories, where they say that the moon never existed. Is that correct?
There are ancient stories that speak of a time when the moon was not up in the sky. And there are descriptions that say that the moon was artificially pulled into place.
Has the moon been placed artificially in our solar system?
So, if we have two modern Russian scientists who have suggested that perhaps the moon was pulled into place, and that is a corroboration of ancient mythologies, that's when I listen.
So the whole idea that our moon is some gigantic, hollow spaceship that's been put into a special orbit around our planet and contains cities and structures that are inside and outside of the moon.
Is there life within the moon?
Is to me a very reasonable assertion. And in fact, it would seem to be that our moon is some kind of gigantic artificial spaceship that is here to monitor our planet.
Is it possible that the moon is actually a spacecraft? And might it have allowed extraterrestrials to discreetly monitor our planet?
These beings that people call aliens, are they within the moon, observing the Earth?
Everything points to a more or less hollow nature of the crust within some 20 to 30 miles of the surface.
Dr. Sean C. Solomon of MIT studied the gravitational fields of the moon via the Lunar Orbiter missions, and he concluded,
"The Lunar Orbiter experiments vastly improved our knowledge of the moon's gravitational field, indicating the frightening possibility that the moon might be hollow."
When Apollo went to the moon, the astronauts took seismometers with them. Once set in place, the plan was to gauge the depth of the moon by reading the seismic activity that occurred after takeoff. The amount of force necessary to rocket the module away from the moon and back into orbit would send the ascent stage crashing down to the moon's surface, creating a fake moonquake. What happened next baffled everyone. The shock wave of the crash vibrated for over 55 minutes. The fact that the module hit the surface over 40 miles away from the seismometer only added to the mystery. Maurice Ewing, one of the scientists involved.
I'd rather not make an interpretation right now, but it is as though one had struck a bell in the belfry of a church. A single blow, and found that the reverberation from it continued for 30 minutes. These experiments continued with the other Apollo missions, with the results always being the same. The moon was ringing like a bell.
And of course, whenever NASA has smacked the moon with a serious impact, it has reacted, in their words, like a gong, like a bell, as if it was hollow.
Later, a NASA report would relate The moon reacted like a gong. For about 3 hours, it vibrated, and these vibrations traveled to depths of 22 to 25 miles. This is exactly what the two Soviet scientists were saying. The moon is a hollow sphere, and the outside wall appears to be somewhere between 20 and 30 miles in depth.
Was the moon brought here from somewhere else? Has the moon been artificially placed in our solar system? Is the moon a structure so that other beings can observe what happens on Earth? Inside of the moon, is there a whole structure for life to live and survive within it? On the dark side of the moon, is this where the spacecrafts fly into the moon? Is the moon a spacecraft? I will now ask the same question 3 times just to show you that their answers do not change. Is the moon a ship? Is the moon a ship? Is the moon a ship? Is the moon a ship?